For most of our lives, the digital world has been something we look at through a window, right? Through a screen. But what happens when we can just shatter that window and step directly inside? That's exactly the shift we're diving into today. The move from just passively watching to actually building and living in fully immersive worlds. I mean, think about it. For decades, our entire digital life has been trapped inside these flat rectangles, our phones, our monitors, our TVs. But there's this growing feeling, a sense that we're hitting the limits of what a 2D screen can really offer. We're starting to demand an experience with more depth, more presence, something more. So I'll ask you this directly because it's a really crucial question. In a world that is just flooded with content, are static, flat images and some text really enough to grab someone's attention anymore? To actually communicate a powerful message? The answer, more and more, is a hard no.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. It's not enough to just show someone something. We've all seen a million ads, a million pictures. We're kind of numb to it. The new demand is to feel it, to create a real emotional connection that goes way beyond the screen. It's all about that shift from being a passive viewer to an active participant. Okay, so how do we actually make that leap from viewing to experiencing? Well, it takes a whole new kind of engineering, not of bridges or buildings, but of reality itself. We're talking about architecting digital spaces that feel just as real and impactful as the physical world around us.
So when we talk about immersive realities, what do we really mean? I want you to look at the verbs here. Drive, accelerate, redefine. See, this isn't just passive entertainment or a cool gimmick. It is an active tool. It's designed to get measurable results and to forge a connection so strong that it actually inspires people to take action. And the toolbox we have to build these realities, it's getting pretty diverse. You've got augmented reality, or AR, which overlays digital stuff onto our physical world. Like those filters on your phone that can put a dinosaur in your living room. Then there's virtual reality, or VR, which completely pulls you into a new digital environment, totally blocking out the real world. And then there's mixed reality, which lets digital objects actually exist in our world, letting us interact with them like they're physically there. All right, so we've got the basic tech down, but what does this stuff actually look like out in the real world? Let's check out the tools that are designed to be, well, absolute showstoppers. The kind of tech that just commands attention and makes you stop and stare. First up is the Holobox. Now, the best way to think about this is not as a screen, but as a window. A window that looks into a virtual world, letting three-dimensional digital objects and even people exist right there in physical space, right in front of your eyes. So just imagine for a second, you're walking past a store, and you see a product just floating, rotating in midair, and you can actually interact with it. That's the power of the Holobox. It's absolutely perfect for creating those unforgettable, wait, how did they do that moments that just pull people in. Okay, so the Holobox is an amazing window into a virtual world. But what if you don't just want to look through the window? What if you want to smash it and jump right inside? For that, you need something like Igloovision. This is all about total 360-degree immersion. And this technology really shines in high-stakes situations. Think about it. You could train a surgeon on a virtual heart where a mistake doesn't cost a life. Or maybe you're launching a new car and you put the entire audience inside the vehicle on a virtual open road. It's storytelling on a totally epic, unforgettable scale. Now, these showstopper products are absolutely incredible, for sure. But this technology goes so much deeper than just grabbing your attention at an event. It's now being used to build entire virtual worlds that have some seriously profound, practical applications for business and industry. One of the most powerful concepts here is something called the digital twin. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's totally revolutionary. You create a perfect, dynamic, data-fed virtual copy of a real-world thing. A factory, a shipping port, maybe even a whole city. And why would you do that? So you can optimize it before you ever lay a single brick or change a single process in the real world. So here's how this whole digital twin thing works, step by step. First, you replicate the system. Then, you can monitor it in real time, you can predict failures before they happen, and you can plan for the future with incredible accuracy. Can you imagine being able to test a new factory layout to find every single bottleneck before you move a single piece of equipment? We're talking millions saved in potential downtime. It is a complete game changer. But it's not just about copying reality. This tech lets us break two of the biggest, most fundamental barriers we live by: distance and time. A virtual world isn't bound by geography. It doesn't care about the clock. You can invite anyone into it from anywhere on the planet at any moment. I mean, this chart right here really says it all, doesn't it? A physical store is limited by where it is and when it's open. A virtual store is global and it's open 24/7. A real estate tour means you have to travel. A virtual walkthrough happens instantly. It completely transforms the customer experience from something limited by physical rules into a seamless, immersive adventure.
So we've looked at some seriously powerful tools and some pretty mind-bending applications. The final and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle is this. This isn't science fiction anymore. These are real, accessible tools, and they're ready to bring imagination to life right now.
And you know, the scale here is totally flexible. It doesn't matter if a business needs a simple 3D walkthrough of a property or a hugely complex, interconnected digital twin of their entire operation. The expertise is here to build it from the ground up. The only real limit is that initial idea. And that brings us to the last thing I want to leave you with. After seeing all of this, from holoboxes to digital twins, it kind of begs the question, right? If the technological barriers are just falling away, and you could build absolutely any experience to tell your story or solve your problem, what would you create?